much for my taste, where it'll just let you do stuff in all kinds of different ways. So it's hard to know which one is the proper way, but yeah, this one is the most effective one in terms of typing, that's for sure.
Could you do it inline on the release if you wanted to? Speaking of overly permissive, if you want to do like release 015 if one in, could you do that, or is that like too much?
What do you mean?
Like if you want to do release 015 if one in, else something else, like inline within the function call. Could you do that with brackets or something?
I'm not sure.
I'm not saying you should. I'm just curious if you can.
I'm not sure that this would permit it, because I think that this is a function that's not coded to work with an else. But if you were going to recreate the functionality of this, then yes, you could do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So we've got that. Let's do another library. Now we're gonna do something. Let's work with samples. And now,
It's your personal?
I'm sorry.
yes, that's okay.
Have a quick look, tell me why the mistake is.
Yep. Syntax error, unexpected colon, expecting parentheses.
There's no column after
So,
sustain.
so exactly.
Okay.
It's basically one big line.
Sustain between
All of it.
sustain and
Yeah,
release.
I think
You've got
actually
a comma that needs to be
Attack 0,
I'm not sure if
sustain,
the line-
comma, and then here, comma. Okay.
Nope, not after release.
Because there's the if one.
Oh, okay. So I think I did a line break to try to make it like that, but it has to be like the same line, right? Because I put a line break and I think it broke.
No.
So
No, you can do the line break, just make sure that you have your comma.
it has to be on the previous line, or can it be?
Still not.
Does that matter?
What do you mean?
Before, I think I had like a comma on the next line, and
Oh
I
yeah, no,
think
that.
Okay, so it just has to be on the.
No,
That was the
that's
same
not
line.
the look anyway.
You can just line break out.
And really this
Also after pan.
was the pen.
Line 8.
By the way, does it have like its own audio drivers? Because I think it's bypassing my headphones and going to the speaker. Though I configured it on Windows.
So if you had Sonic Pi open before you plugged in your headphones,
So just restart it.
yeah, that's annoying a bit, but
Is there an arrow?
Unexpected this. So, who is the unexpected this?
where unexpected.
Unexpected comma.
Line 7.
So, איך אתה מכניס עכשיו את ה-if הזה?
ה-if זה פשוט בסוף, זה כאילו על כל המתודה זה ה-if.
expect
כמו פייתון עם מצרך
זה ה-one
כזה.
הזה.
כן, זה סתם איזה מתודה, כנראה מחזירה לך בוליאני.
6. Position 16.
כן. זהו, יש שם איזה stateful functions כאלה, משהו.
What is I blue?
שו?
What is I blue? לא, like. Yeah. I thought it's typo. Does it work? There's no typos in Ruby. Everything is correct.
There's
an extra. There's an extra.
No, you know you fucked when it stops autocomplete.
There's an extra.
Go back and
delete this.
This one.
also here.
Yeah. This.
Yeah, exactly. Again, delete, and now.
And then other time. The extra space, okay.
There's a color.
There you go.
The color.
Okay.
Now it should work.
Excellent.
Imagine when this happens when you're playing live. This is what makes live coding interesting. Like it happens to me like sometimes, like I'm playing shows and I'm like staring at my screen and I just don't see what
Yeah, it's like, why?
Like I just don't see it.
In conventions and stuff, it's known that like the live demos always don't work, so that sounds terrifying, like doing that as a performance.
Yeah, but that's the point. That's why it's like putting back danger in electronic music a little bit. Because it's a
Okay,
way to
because
like
not
play
just
with
pressing a
the
space bar, so like stuff can go wrong.
Yeah, stuff can definitely go very wrong.
You lost the colon and then everything breaks? Like
Oh man, I had like a lot of stuff happen. Like there's some things that will really break your code, like commas that are missing and things like this. Sometimes you press enter and then all of a sudden like your whole code is dephased. one way, and then you're just staring at your screen and you're like, what just happened? And you're in the middle of like.
And like philosophically, they don't allow a Control Z.
Is there an undo button?
No, you can do. I do
Yes,
Control
Control
Z,
Z.
but then you still have to
Oh,
fix the
it's
code, right? Like
Yeah.
you still have to figure out why it
Fix the
errored in the
truth.
first
Yeah, and it
place.
depends how much you did. I assume since the last time you ran it.
So-
So you don't know how many Control Z's you need. Probably.
So I can break on the colons, like basically I can have each one in a different line. I can break colon, like it will,
Yeah, I mean you can do,
like this, yeah.
yeah, like that.
I need some
This
order in
one
my
need-
life.
This one needs to be on the same, ideally.
But you like it just as a train,
Doe het wel al.
like you like it,
Sometimes I just don't take the time to always do the line breaks, because again, like when you're performing live, there's like other more important things that you're focusing on.
There's nothing more important than line breaks.
I mean,
Always.
yeah.
you see someone in the crowd, what is it, stop.
All the OCD people in the crowd just get going crazy.
Is there like auto formatting?
Yes, but sometimes it's annoying, so I formatted, there's a shortcut. There's a keyboard shortcut, so I just formatted.
The fact you don't remember it by heart means it's, you don't use it.
Because sometimes it doesn't format it the way that I like, so do it. Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
Like, I don't know how to do that. Like, in which way do external captors could influence your code?
What do you mean?
Like I don't know, like sensors. I mean, like
Oh, this is cool. Yeah, there's some stuff that you can do with that.
okay,
Right, because you can do it
Yeah.
on a Raspberry Pi, right? So can you like hook it up to GPIO and stuff like that?
Yeah, you could do like a lot of stuff. I mean, you have to find a way to
Like
communicate.
talk with
but-
Python libraries or whatever into
But you
the.
can communicate with Sonic Flies through MIDI signals or through OSC signals. So if you have like something that's set up, some kind of sensor that is
and then
picking
it
up some
talks
kind
in
of data.
OSC to
Mhm,
yeah, okay.
mhm.
Is there an easy way to read the mouse position?
Mm.
OSC.
That's interesting.
OSC, I
OSC,
guess.
yeah.
But you're using the mouse to edit the program. I mean,
Like for example, like
It's also
I'm looking at the sustain value
It
here.
was interesting,
Like
this guy
how could
set
it
up
be
this
affected
lab
by
and
an external, by an OSC
what
message?
went through the
Yeah,
lab,
Yes.
they can
or
connect
through
all of you.
MIDI,
They
you
start
know, if you wanted
sending
to
all
play
your
with the
control to an
hardware,
OSC to
you
one.
Yeah, or like a pitch bend, let's say that would change the
yeah,
sustain.
you
one
connect it so
Sonic,
like
but
you have.
controlled by
So you
everyone.
connect it to controllers or
It's
something.
like a library. What's
Yes.
OSC?
OSC is
Um,
open source control.
Yeah.
Here,
really
It's
like
a communication
IO,
between
Oh, it's like a control column.
Yeah.
So here you
Like
can
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
enable
Yeah,
OSC
it's like
servers,
kind of your
you
string
can
addresses,
send
and
OSC
then you
messages,
can
you
send
can
also
enable
the
MIDI
primitive values
subsystems,
and
you
strings.
can connect.
Okay.
Okay, okay.
And
So I understand that, but then how do we know that it's affecting the sustain?
Yeah, very
value?
much. In everything, it's
Nice.
like
No,
there's an
you have to
implementation.
Yeah, so in the line of the sustain, you
Yeah.
code
Yeah,
something.
It's a very general thing. I think it predates Sonic Pi and like
We build for like audio
And
and
is it
stuff
possible
like
like
built for controlling
to
things.
you code it at the top like
Very
this,
low
like
latency.
the permanent
So
things?
you can
Yes.
expect
You
something
could like
So-
sustain OSC, I don't know, I'm saying randomly.
So-
Sustain OSC is this address.
So one cool
Okay.
thing that I do
that. I was actually
sometimes
thinking
is
of
that I
doing
have
something
like
for
separate
controlling
buffers
LED strips, so that could
where
be
I
a good,
code
good
functions.
choice maybe.
Yeah,
Okay.
or
Like
You know,
over
so,
there.
and it could be like
Either
functions
OSC
that you
or
don't
like
necessarily want
Artnet
to
is
have
good,
like people to
which
see,
I'm trying to
like
like
it's can be functions
reset
for
that to
controlling your
working state
hardware or
and
functions
just,
for doing
these are
something.
addresses that we understand.
And
Okay,
you run
well,
it
what's that
on a
called?
separate
Artnet?
server, and once you run it, it's like it's in the memory.
Okay.
So you can access it
It's
across
DMX
buffers.
over
Oh,
IP.
it's a hell.
DMX, I heard of it. It's like LED
That's
like
like
professional.
a
So where were we? We were adding
We were
samples.
here. Yes.
Artnet is like
We were adding
like a transport for its own network.
Okay.
So that's the way to do it. And there's also open
So ArtNet is like instead of
some
you.
open pixel control and some like protocol and stuff like that.
Okay.
Awesome. You guys still with me? Okay. So I can had like basic samples, so there's like a lot of samples that are built in SonicPy already. And it's pretty much the same as for the synth, so you can just type in the keyword sample, and then you have like a drop down of all the samples that you have access to. So these are great for creating beats. So this is a bass drum. I'm going to use this bass drum for now. Cutoff is about frequencies. Yeah. So cutoff is about frequencies. So if I don't put it, let's just hear it maybe just dry like this. And actually, you know what? I'm going to put that outside of the reverb. And also, so you see here, I sync it. So this is why we give names to live loops. Because if we give names to live loops, then we can have loops interact between one another. So it's kind of, we're naming our threads, basically. Each loop is a thread, and we're giving names to them. So I want my beat to be synced to my melody. Another way to do it also that is pretty common is to have it like this, or here. Sometimes I'll code myself a metronome. And I'll just say here, sleep one. And then this is always going to run at the same beat, and I can always, if I just
sync
want to
everything
sing,
to the metronome.
yeah, if I don't want it to sing because of the beginning of an event, but I just want the rhythm to be, you know, I can sync it to the.
And like this, you can also change. If you change the sleep of the metronome, you change everything. Yeah.
Yes.
It's fantastic.
אתה רואה ככה, שיש את הסינק למטרונום, זה פשוט שיחה. לפי הקצב, ואז תמיד זה תואם לאותו מידה בקשר לתוכן כמה שמובן.
So if I play that.
די בלי.
And I use the cutoff on this because to me it's a little bit too much. To my taste, I prefer it.
What does cutoff do? Is it cutoff for amplitude?
No, it's
No,
a filter.
It's a filter.
It's a filter on the kick drum. Okay, so
It's
it's,
like,
it's gonna cut from the high frequencies.
Okay, so it's just like a
Oh,
low
like-
pass.
No, the low
low
from the low
pass,
frequency. It's a low pass or high pass?
It's a high pass, so it cuts everything.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's just a high pass on
High
the
frequencies, and you choose the with the number.
threshold.
You choose how much you're cutting.
Yeah, so that's like a frequency, it's like 110 kilohertz.
Frequency
the high
cut-
frequency.
No, it's
Yes, it cuts off the high
Unfortunately,
frequency.
it's
It
a-
starts
it's a
there,
low pass.
and it keeps
Yeah.
everything that's
So
lower
it's
than
also
So
that.
it's low pass.
it's a MIDI number from
yeah,
0
it's
to
low pass.
127. So
Yeah.
127 is the filter is open, and 0 the filter is closed.
Oh, so it's like a knob. It's
It's like a knob, yeah, it's like a mini knob.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
It's a knob.
And for certain things, I mean, you can play with cutoff, especially, I mean, okay, getting ahead of myself. Let's start with the beat. Okay, so bass drum. Now, let's say I want to have something that's happening with the bass drum, right? Like, so a beat is like different layers of different kinds of percussions. But I don't necessarily want to have to do a live loop for every single sound. I'd like to just have my beat all neat and tidy within one thread, one loop. So how do I do that? So we can create threads within loops, okay? So what I can do, give myself more room. I can use this keyword. In thread, okay? So basically this creates a thread within my loop. So I can have now this block play at the same time as another block. So I can put another block after this, and both are going to be played at the same time. It's not going to be one after the other, they're going to run at the same time. So I could say, okay, so there's going to be a problem with this. I'm going to run it. You're going to hear what the problem's going to be.
Something's going to be too loud.
And you tell me, like, why.
It's gonna fall out of sync.
No, it's not in
The
the
thread.
The second
No,
one is
it's
not in
fine.
play.
No, it's fine. So this is one thread, and this thread understand that it needs to play this at the same time.
Ah, so
Okay.
anything below it will be in the same thread?
Yes, it will be the different thread. So this is one thread, this is one thread here, and this is one thread.
And the other live loop is a third thread, right? Live loop
Yes.
also defines a thread?
Yes, live loops are also threads, but the difference with this is that within one live loop, you can also have different threads.
Okay.
Okay, but if I run this, there's going to be an issue. So let's hear it.
תכף נסביר.
And the kick, I don't hear a problem.
Yeah, there's no issue.
Depends on your
it sounds like
taste.
proper GABA.
Okay, so
So
what
the
is the
sleep,
issue?
the sleep of the kick.
The sleep of the kick. So that's the thing. Because these two things are running together, Sonic Pi tries to equalize them. So Sonic Pi tries to make them even so that it can run together. So it's adjusting the sleeps.
רגע, אני להבדיל בעצמי.
So the trick is that you can have as many threads as you want, but ideally each thread should be the same length. So if I want to fix this, because this thread here has a value of 1, this is how long it is, it's 1b, and this is 0.25, so I need to make this as long as this.
אוקיי. מה שעושה.
So I can do that by using another kind of loop.
ונגיד אתה
And
רוצה
saying
לנגן שני דברים
to
שיהיו
Sonic
ממש
Pi,
מובנים.
do that 4
או
times.
אתה אומר לו,
Because if I do that 4 times, 4 times 0.25 is going to be 1.
Okay.
So you
And then-
equalize them.
ואתה רוצה
Then
שזה
you're going to
מקביל
have
לשמתי
the
בזה,
effect that
ממש
you want.
This is where I'm able to land.
אז אתה עושה את הבלוק הזה, אתה אומר לו שזה thread. אם thread, הוא אומר, כאילו, תריץ את זה
Yeah, that was it, no?
כאילו, בעצמאית שזה היה, בגלל
Well, do you think the symbols are too fast?
Symbols are just like 4 times per the.
Yes,
so that's
it's
not.
good.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Was not what you
The metronome is every beat.
Oh yeah, exactly.
You have to make a metronome
Yeah.
fall.
Yeah, exactly. Learning. Okay. Yeah. But I don't like that, so I'm going to use another function.
4 times do, אז מה שמחוץ לפרד הוא
It was a
בסך
metronome
הכל
thing?
No, the metronome is every beat, so you get to
Yeah,
kick
yeah,
everything.
it works.
5 כפול 4 פעמים, אז זה של דמפינג של אחד.
Okay. So
Okay.
this is a little magic function here. Okay, so basically, without giving too much like technical stuff, but these is based on Euclidean algorithms. So basically, the spread, what it takes, it'll separate. It'll take 8 times whatever sleep you're doing here. So 8 times this, and then it will place a sound on 6 of these 8. So it'll create
Okay,
rhythms
so
like
spread
this.
6 over 8.
Spread 6 over 8.
Oh, so it's
So you
basically
can
like a
spread
time signature
anything over
that
anything.
you want.
Yeah. But on Euclidean.
And,
Yeah,
and,
you
and, the,
can
and,
whatever.
and it
Yeah.
does it change each repetition, or is it like randomized, or just
No.
it's specific 6?
It's specific 6. It'll just, I can change it. Well, this is.
So behind this,
So you have a Euclidean sequencer basically.
So this is an easy way to kind of create rhythms.
The groove is pretty good, huh? I mean
It was kind of a compliment here.
We're getting somewhere.
No, but you know, like each program has its own groove, each drum machine has its own groove. Like the tick, I mean I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, we're slowly getting to a point where it's more interesting. This sound specifically, I don't like the way that it sounds like this, so I usually speed it up. So to play a sound faster or slower, you use rate. So that's the parameter that will change the speed of
And
the
you
sound.
were talking about pitch shift. I mean, with stretching or
Just
No,
the
placing the
playback of the sound is the sample.
we're
is
changing the
played.
speed.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're
Yeah.
stretching or compressing.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
not pitching.
No.
Okay.
But if you play it faster, it will sound pitched higher.
Not if you stretch it. Not if you.
Like now I'm playing it 2.5 times faster.
I know. So the pitch is down.
I mean, for percussions, it does affect the pitch slightly. Like it depends which samples. There are ways, like there are other functions that you can like, you know, balance the pitch that it does. But for this, you can also, if you play -1, so that will play backwards. It doesn't sound backwards. Okay, so this is one thing that you can do. And I can go on like this, creating threads. Now let's say I want to add some of my own samples. So I don't have to play with the samples that are in Sonic. I can import them. The only thing that you need to do for importing samples, so this is my sample file. This is like where I keep all my samples, and I just run this.
Okay, so you give them a name.
Yep.
And then the path of where they are.
Yeah. And that's it. You can use this, load samples. You have load sample and load samples, depending if you want to load a folder or if you want to load a single sample.
Okay.
And then you have access to them through
The name.
the name.
They come up as a list.
Yeah. So it makes it really easy to play with your own samples. So if I go back here,
I'm sorry. Can
Yep.
you go back again?
אתה רואה ככה, אתה מקליט ואתה כותב את זה ומעלה את זה, אתה יכול להקליט סאמפלים שלך
I'm gonna do.
וזה דבר...
So this is a folder. This is like I have a whole bunch of hi-hats sounds that are like open hi-hats. So I'm just gonna say to the computer like choose random one. I'm gonna put the amp also random, and for the rate I'm gonna say anything between -1 and 1.
So reverse
So
to...
yeah, it's gonna play sometimes reverse, sometimes fast, sometimes slow, sometimes really, really slow. For the pan, I'm also gonna tell it pan it wherever in the space, and I don't want it to sound every time.
ואז היא
Like
אומרת
this,
לו, תיקח
and
את
same
העצמה
thing
של
here.
זה.
I need to say to the computer to do it.
Sometimes because it's zero front.
This is like atmosphere things that I do a lot. Right? Let's go create some bass.
So excuse me, to call a folder of samples, you just put the name of the folder basically.
Yeah.
And then it will know that inside it's all samples.
No, you
Yes.
need quotation marks around the name.
No, not necessarily, because here I've imported all here. So like,
It's
let's
just a
say,
constant, whatever you name there,
Okay,
it's a
close
constant.
equals.
yeah,
And it's-
yeah, exactly.
And he expects to find the MP3s and he
Yes,
upload it.
exactly. So
Sometimes
depending
you have-
if you loaded
You need
folder.
a function
Unexpected.
load sample. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's
Otherwise,
okay.
otherwise it will load it. Like you could load it every time that you go through
No.
the loop, but yeah.
You should load it
Yeah,
up front.
exactly.
Right.
And
אני אלמד את הטכניקה של איך מעלים בזיכרון את כל הסאמפלים.
let's put the volume a little bit
אפשר
down.
לקרוא להם,
thanks.
מה שאלה. אני חושב שטיפולי אפשר לעשות את זה, הייתי חושב.
So לשמוע.
And I don't know, the LEDs, they just don't want to connect.
Je sais pas moi ce que tu fais.
Okay.
Yes.
So if you want, I can just go ahead and live code a little bit. You can see what I do, and then you guys can go ahead and code, and I can answer your questions. Is that good?
Yeah?
Je prends de fixe.
Ouais. Expecting keyword and. We're missing an N somewhere. Can you call some presets? Or you just have to move around the parameters?
No, every synth has its own default
Sound?
presets already, and then you have to modify them through the
And like, how do you know which synth has how many oscillators, how many envelopes?
documentation.
Okay. Like in the real world.
Yeah, exactly. Just check it out.
The kid thought the Sonic Pie stuff was awesome. And
Yeah.
Amazing.
Amazing. Oh yeah, I didn't even see it.
It's really in like in a few lines you can make some random music and random music machine.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. It's like, you know, it's like that
It's like
that
an instrument.
thing when
The computer's like
Yeah,
a musical
yeah.
instrument.
like a musician, like it's giving you ideas. That's what I like so much about it. Like it takes away the thing of electronic music where you feel like it's such a lonely thing where you have to input all your ideas and computers really not helping you.
Like engineering more than.
Well, you know,
Yeah, it's like this composition of
Wendy Carlos with switched on Bach. You know how they did this? They had a monophonic synthesizer.
Yeah,
After
each
spending,
sound.
2 weeks like choosing the right sounds, they had to make. Then they had like some multi-track tape machines. They had a click track because there's no automatic metronome,
Yeah.
and they had to record. I mean, everything had to be.
I think she built like an 8-track recorder for this. She built it herself.
Yeah. And if you need more tracks, of course, then you have to bounce the
bounce.
track, and it's so much work. I mean, and the results speak for themselves. But now you can have it switched on with just a few lines.
No, thank you for the workshop and
Thank the workshop organizer.
audio video interest group that we have. We started finally TAMI can look like a workshop place.
Yeah.
The first workshop we had here at TAMI.
yeah, and then, I mean,
Great
let me know.
depression.
And we know this sound card works. That's
Yeah,
something we
it
did
works.
not. That's something we did not know.
It works on.
What sample rate are you feeding it?
Huh?
What sample rate are you feeding into this?
Oh, it's 44.1.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's why I couldn't get it to work earlier with the other. I was trying 48. Maybe it's not.
Yeah, I guess maybe I could change the default. but-
No, I'm just saying I tried it with a different rate and it didn't work. Maybe that was the problem.
Yeah, I want to do a satellite.
But yeah, let me know if you want to do that again. Like if people want to meet up again.
That was one of the coolest things I've seen probably like in years. So yeah, I actually saw like a few years back. I saw something in Haskell, like
Yeah.
Tidal or something.
Yeah.
And it looked amazing.
Yeah.
And it was so hard to install.
It's not,
And I tried to install the light Haskell instead of full, and it didn't work. And it was like debugging for hours, and I never got to the actual like trying it. So this was a refreshing experience.
Amazing. Tidal is better now.
Yeah?
For this.
For like installing like a stack.
Yes, also there's a new platform that you can play with people online. So I'm with them.
With Haskell with Tidal.
With Tidal, I know I have like a Tidal band where we meet like every
Nice.
week.
Does the latency work though? Or it's like sync, so it doesn't matter the
Okay,
Okay.
through the
Yeah,
browser,
makes
so you log in.
But ask me about that. You said someone has to record and each person takes a turn to add.
They help you
How does it
to
sync?
It's through the browser. Title cycles, yeah, it's a small version of Title that we use in the browser, but it works.
Yeah,
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Because it
Can you
counts
also,
the-
that is like line by line, right?
Yes.
So in Sonic Pi, can you also do like lines, or does it only run the entire buffer?
with the radio.
Like refresh?
You can stop the things from playing.
Because I saw you like you created a new live loop when you wanted to do something.
Yes.
Somewhere that
But
then
I
when
can
you-
stop live views also
0.1
while
degrees.
it's playing. So
Yeah, I saw
So
something
probably if the
about that, like
powers
with the
that you're
control.
floating around just on
with
the
just the
surface,
keyword stop
then you
change,
could see
then it
it.
will
No,
stop.
stop
Oh,
makes
then
the
it's-
loop stop playing. It fades it out.
And it doesn't fade it out, it'll just not play once the iteration is complete.
But what
Okay, so if
we have the
deleting it also work, like if I delete it,
No.
would it?
Well, maybe it's a
No.
military stuff.
Okay.
I know the military
Interesting.
does know. Look
Yeah,
at
we
it.
tested
There's
that,
some
and that's
magic.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
in the thing.
Maybe it's
It
not.
stays in memory, so you don't want to do that. No, what you can do is just you put the keyword stop.
Oh, next to the loop.
Yes,
And then if you want to redo it, just remove the stop and it'll start over. Okay.
I guess you could stop in the
You
middle of
can
the
stop
loop.
it, you can change
I'm not sure
where
if you
you
can,
think it.
because if you want to cut mid loop,
Yeah,
could you
yes.
do that? Or
You
because I think
could.
it waits for the end of
No,
the
but
iteration.
you could
No,
with
I
some,
yeah, he wants to do
well,
something.
you have to code it, you have to tell it.
You want Tammy,
That's what I want you to do.
Tammy wants to
So you say
endorse
like
this project?
sleep 0.5 stop, like in the loop instead of
But maybe you can just
Or
put
you
stop
change,
anywhere.
or you change
Yes,
the
I think they,
amplitude, just put in
I
the loop,
prepared this
just say
text
you
to
want
Okay,
to
that
go
makes
call
sense.
to
Yeah, I'll
makers
just
to
change
make a
that to
team.
0, for example.
Okay.
For
And then you
different,
make it, you know.
but I don't know the name, like the specific name
That's
for
part of the
coding,
fun, it's like
like
you've gotta find
the name
ways
of the
to
worker.
Yeah, no, it's
make it work.
Coding this,
To
but it's
communicate
better,
your
like, I don't know, so I
The only
prepared the
real
text.
problem I have with the IDs, it's like the same with like the Arduino IDs.
He wants to
I
make
just like
the whole
JetBrains,
project, like
or you know,
software
minimum
and
like
hardware.
Visual Studio or Visual Studio
The
Code,
rocket you want.
and like going to something that like
He wants to make a
Control
proof of
Home
concept.
doesn't work.
Okay,
Like,
so one computer.
Maybe you
I usually
could,
play
why
some
don't you,
games,
why
like
don't, it's
it's
open
open,
source,
but-
you
And
can
the
probably
satellites.
change it.
yeah, but I mean that would
And whenever
probably be
there's an
like
alert,
a few months to like get into it and really make some changes.
find the information, parse it, and when there's an alert, send it again. And then,
Yeah.
Published by the
So it's like
community.
also, yeah.
Oh yeah, these,
Station
yeah they do,
receiving
but like
and
these,
receiving.
like the proprietary IDs, it's like
The computer with some antennas.
So that the new
Computer, some antennas, and a big, and a nice internet
This looks
connection.
like this code.
and like
Okay.
from
And
feature
whenever there's
from a
a-
feature
so-
standpoint, like, is it like
As you coded like a program that can mine the information
But
and
I think
say,
that also
okay,
like
this is an alert,
syntax
and
errors,
send it.
obviously you don't
This
have a
kind of
compile
errors to be
it,
sent.
but there are syntax errors like,
Alerts he was looking for?
you know,
And
stopping
then
on
he
stage
wants to
because
send
syntax
a
error seems
radio
crazy,
signal
like you
to
don't have the red
another
squiggles or
satellite.
something. But like an ID could really be your friend there, I feel like.
They already exist, yeah.
I would assume that
And
you could
the
build
satellite is supposed to transmit
like
a radio signal. It's
some-
a small unit that
You
we
can,
have
you
in
have
radio.
some damage.
that
We
plug
receive
in VS
and then
Code.
show a symbol that sign
Could you like run
fire
this on
or
VS Code
earthquake
or other IDs, or is it very
water
I
and make a sound.
At some point I was kind of like a little bit hardcore and I was running it through this.
Okay.
So you can do that, because you
Right
can
now,
run this on a device.
he's working a lot on the receiving and transmitting
Okay.
antennas and equipment.
How does it communicate?
And
Is it
he
like,
also
is that
talked to the
OSC that
satellites,
you
which
talked about?
ones, how,
I guess so,
etc.
yeah.
So you just
we
send it like
find
whatever
coders
UniP
to
packets
code
and just...
the API with the program to mine the information, know when there's an alert, and then send.
I'm positive you could put like a little control
we
here
have
and then make it talk.
Oh yeah, can you like play live MIDI,
Yes.
like on top of it,
Yes.
inside Sonic Pi?
Yes.
There's a
How does that
MIDI
work
in
with
You
the
can
live loop?
also, you can also connect like microphones.
He wants to
like
do
this
a
and
free
then-
open
by
source.
audio effects.
Can you record and use it
when
in
we have a
both?
proof of
Yes.
concept?
Oh, there's also sound out. You can have multiple sounds out
Yeah.
and doing weird stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
You can try it out.
Villages that are.
Cool.
Yeah. you just
Oh,
go,
oh fuck, I really gotta go.
He knows
I didn't know it's the time.
Yeah, yeah.
Next time.
Alright, thanks.
You can
The
try
first
it
time I came,
Yeah,
he was sitting in front
I'll
of
have to come back here.
the door.
This was really great though. I would love if you
And,
had like more
I-
meetups, I'll definitely be there.
Okay.
Yeah, I just quit my job, so I'm like all the time. Specifically for
Quit his
this kind of
job
stuff.
to become a
I
musician.
wanted to do like more weird stuff. So.
Setting a Telegram, like a group, and
Oh, so you're off the situation, we switched.
try to help
Yeah.
him that
Yes,
Tammy
okay,
endorse this
sure.
project and we make a
Awesome.
workshop here.
And there's
this space is available for the workshop.
This is actually like not even the first workshop.
No, I made this text. I made this text.
I know you were stuck.
Who we need and what the project is all about. But I need to finish this text and then I can send it to the
editor, so then you get like
The past.
I know it's an illusion.
now we're here now. We did a meeting here, so we can explain the project and then
But let's set it up. Like, let's see. Like,
Okay, so that's cool. So
Sounds good to me.
I mean, yeah. You don't need my permission, just do it.
but I don't
Once
know.
every 2 weeks.
I'm taking phones too later.
that would be bad.
And but I will send you this text. I just don't know the name of the kind of programming guys that we need. I'm just gonna put some generic stuff and then we'll make a meeting and we'll figure it out.
Hydra, that's like, is it like
I'll send you this text at PIA and then you guys can work it.
You have an update group?
You can choose the day for the
It's more like functional declarative. Okay.
Yes.
It's
Let's
like
talk about this
really
one.
what language is it?
I take it to the
JavaScript, but it's like really inspired by like the video synthesizers. Like actually, like you had like analog kind of things that you synthesizers for video, but for video you can connect also the video synthesis and then like modulate in some weird ways. So then
What's the
I'll say this
Thank you very much.
things like this wiggle
See you
stuff.
next time.
I can put some other like things like this.
Yes, see you soon. Bye. Bye. Bye now.
So you could like, let's say you want to color.
It's not an SL boat.
Like this.
Nice.
Or let's say that's great. You want to put like a line
Everyone will get sick.
and you maybe want to wiggle it today.
No, it would be great. It would be
It'll
awesome.
be the first TAMI crew. Also, no?
It seems like it's like a shader. It's mostly like
Yeah, it's a couple shaders and you kind of
that's awesome.
plug them together.
I'm also like thinking all the time about how can I learn stuff. So like shaders, it's like a really clunky C-like syntax. It's like a great way to learn
It's
all the math stuff in the shaders.
no really because it's like
No?
it's very abstracted from the shaders internally.
That's a very like a
You may
Right, that's a low level.
produce I don't know if you know
can
that.
fall like
Are you talking about like OpenCL?
No, just like shaders in general. So local shaders is it's using like WebGL. And it's got like introductions, and then you have these like live editors.
That's amazing because I thought about making like challenges because I thought that would be the best way to learn. So
Yes,
then have like all kinds of different stuff that you
challenges
can.
Yeah, and also
great as a reference.
it's a really nice like editor because it kind of understands what the parameters mean.
Yeah, so there's like a preview of colors and
Yes,
stuff like that.
so you know,
Like,
it's just like
code editor.
4 numbers, but it can, when you highlight it, you
Why should you
actually
do
can
that?
just adjust the numbers by something that has more semantics.
Yeah, that's awesome. It seems like the best of like node editors, like you have visual
Yeah,
scripting
yeah.
editors
Yeah.
with the text and like.
Yeah,
It's just not
and even if you have just one variable, you can
I'll tell you a story of real life that happened to me. I was actually just being a tourist in Jordan, and just going
was
back
that
to
when
the
you-
I passed by this
Yeah,
tent.
just
There's this like
check it out.
dude
And it goes from the
making
basics
coffee. Come in, making some coffee, more faces to me, I was just some
That's
random
awesome.
stranger.
in the
Yeah.
And here, either way, it's still
You don't have to worry about
Okay.
Is it like a look off? What kind, whatever, if you crash, that's the, that's the
Interest in the place.
Age stop in the middle.
In the old space we had like on the old interwall still in modern tower with the CD.
maybe it's an actual book.
I'll check it out anyway.
Yeah, check it out.
Unfortunately, we
Yeah.
lost track of time now. We ran out of money. We had like the guy who decided to move in.
that's always fun.
Because he's also
Those are like so easy to feed him like a video, like a webcam.
You want to tell Yair was the spammer who made everybody come there. So if you want him to announce it, you should talk to.
Well, it is like web technology based, but you can also it's
I of course I work on my own crazy stuff. Barely even I can. If you have time, I can show you some crazy sounds right now.
changes
I have
the
to
background
warn you that
to the
it's
output of
barely
this.
scratching.
And yeah, but you have your proper editing like
reintroduce
completion,
It's not really.
just use it. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's nothing is.
Yeah,
I can send you some. You can do is have some sync. You said now it's the thing called. Is the sync stuff? Remember you were sync like
maybe. I mean, I didn't.
if you make it if you make the sync key appears like
this page
this file sync.
And if you want to select a
Resilio sync.
there's a really new project.
So if you open it, it should give you this little. So there's something shared there. Okay, so make go to share.
No, just this one I'm gonna show.
He did have something.
Go to
But I'm not
share.
sure what it will run on that.
Yeah, and let's see. Wait, well, yeah, and then maybe I'll take a photo.
When you show someone it's Murphy's Law, it's never gonna work.
But like, so it's like the same kind of thing as Electric.
Do you have a
Yeah, so I didn't like program all of the
Yes,
just
I
for
do.
invites. Like I use this, which is
On my
like it's
website,
synchronous.
tutorials
with
that you
the
can sign up for,
settings
you'll
of
have
the
like
server.
code and
So
everything.
you know, more people can go to this site and kind of like play around. And
It's
So
just
my
like collaborating,
website
just
is
change the Firebase.
yeah, and it's like once it's producing sound, you can like switch the instruments around.
Amazing. I hope we can do
Right
it
now,
again.
just a sequencer
Yeah,
like
yeah,
this kind of not expression based.
So sequencer.
And I'm trying for it to get at a higher level than just coding.
Yeah,
And I
like more declarative, like
I'll put some stuff there and you can see it. But I have to warn you, like the one thing I did was it runs
Like controlling
Oh yeah, if you just you can run the script, it actually starts up the Python in the background. So yeah, but like you, it needs a certain Python logic. So I can already. Well, you'll find out if it doesn't work. I can also print out the list of one which
speaker
modules.
output is like
Yeah, I'll just see an error.
Yeah, that's what I tried to do. Then I broke everything.
It's
And then
Yeah, it would be fun to work on something new. Like, I feel like
version
something
of
new.
and then like I said, I have a whole notebook full of like stuff.
Combine some like visual programming elements and then
It'd be nice to do like a
this whole like 3D scene.
But I want something like
I send them to Artnet to always see, you know, there has to be like output.
Artnet is like
You know, it's not just gonna randomly pick the notes out.
It is on some UDP,
whatever floats your boat.
and yeah, it's just like again,
But even
with standard code loaded, I was doing like many things and open pixel.
I got it to generate its own sample.
OPC.
Nice. How do you do
Like
that?
you can, there's actually a module which does, I mean, unless you want to do something completely different, but the basic module, you can just generate random or non-random instruments.
Is it like your portfolio, like stuff you make?
Where I use this project, like
You know, then you
my
add
portfolio,
like low, high pass filters.
this is more.
But that's nothing, it's just technique. It's not
Well, that really depends, like, you know, what you're more interested in.
Yeah, like also like
Making
some
music or...
hardware stuff.
I mean, someone told me once about fencing, the sport where you put
guessing you can finally go
Yeah.
So like they don't even let you hold the weapon for a year. So first year, all you do is like, they won't even let you touch it. And then like you study another, and then after 3 years, you're maybe at the level where your muscle memory is developed to the point where you can actually think about
I
strategy.
stopped with hardware and
Yeah.
Oh, you did? You understand music is like that too.
I'm sensing a
It's
trend.
an interesting.
because like most of that I used to live in Prague and
See, I think it's interesting to mix both, like to see what we can do with pushing the science.
And I also have,
music.
I also have a lot of mathematical ideas that could be turned into some cool sounds,
That's
or maybe
what I'm
not.
interested in.
I have to do the code and find out.
That's
you
what
know,
I'm interested
like your
in
bubble
hearing.
sort, but you know, other crazy stuff. So
Yeah, I mean, sorting
I mean,
algorithms,
stuff which if I told you
explored.
even now, you wouldn't even know what I'm talking about. I have to figure out how to code it also.
I want to find like more cool algorithms to experiment with.
That was one of the big sections of my notebook. So when it needs to be,
you know this algorithmic symphonies thing?
no.
It's like it's like these really like short lines of code that you just just feeding them in the audio buffer.
Well, I know there's something
Ah,
where
it's Bytebeat, yeah.
what is it? Explain it. What does it do?
It's Bytebeat.
What does it do?
Bytebeat is it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's great.
Is
yeah.
it the thing where like
From this.
that's some function, that's some weird function.
Well, it's like, you know, bit shifting and it's like overflowing and like this.
But what makes the sound? How does it
So the T is,
So
you know,
you-
it's like
T is time.
like time that
You're basically
simple number basically.
you're
And
piping into your
So
audio
and
output.
for each like sample, you're doing a different one and by just these.
But it's not a sample though. It's like you're just manipulating like a small
No,
range.
you're filling the buffer with this.
Yes, but you're just manipulating a basic.
You know, there were some old computers which were designed like as business PCs, like IBM PC, that they had in 1981 or 0. So it was business machines. It wasn't supposed to play music, but so it had a speaker which could beep. So some crazy hackers figured out how to play samples on it, using this kind of bit banging techniques.
But this is super cool. If you like this, you should check out. There's a live coding framework called RAM Code.
Ramp.
And
code.
RAM Code.
RAM
It's a friend of mine. He developed it, and it's all based on bytebeat theory. So it's like allows you to
RAM or ramp?
ramp code. So you can play with bytebeat sounds, and you have like a visuals integrated. It's based on pure data. built on pure
Or the
data.
sonic line in the background,
Yeah.
giving some ambience. And there was nothing wrong with that, I guess. The Ontario building code, ramps. It's like how to
Ramp.
build buildings and like how not to. No, this.
Type RAM code GitHub. Yeah. There you go.
It's a big repo. This is zip file in it.
It's a repo of zip file.
Does not seem Doesn't shady at Google all. Drive work for a zip file? Do you really need a repo for that?
Well, it's easier to find, right?
You can check it out. You can also check his YouTube channel where he codes with RAM code, and you can hear.
And so what is it like?
So like,
It's written and it's an application here, or it's like it's a bash script, or
It's a
It's
pure
a
data
pure
script.
data script.
it's a pure data.
Yeah.
Install
Oh right, patch PD. Okay.
install I install per data with the cat. That's the version I prefer to use. I'm not joking.
So I'm gonna call it taxi. Well, thank you so much for everything. Really.
Sorry for the beginning.
Perfect.
So we did stream it in the end?
Oh, good.
Almost from the beginning.
Really?
Yeah. I think the stream like kind of fun, but we have the recording, so we'll probably upload it to the TAMI YouTube.
Guys, thank you so much. This was really
You're
awesome.
welcome.
And I hope to see you guys again. So talk about making this like a recurring thing, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
If you can put on a meeting.
Clean up the space.
Just close the light here.
Yeah, we'll
Maybe, maybe one day we'll live long enough that we get the good space upstairs.
Yes, and so it turned out to just be easier to grab the screen with, the camera, zoom in,
Exactly. Yeah, that's what
and
I figured.
like, yeah.
But I'm glad that you managed to stream it. That was cool.
But did anyone watch this
But
stream?
next time
Yeah,
I
here
can
was
bring
that some people were like asking for things.
But
But
next time I can bring my sound card and then it's easy to stream.
Okay, tell me when is next time. I'll even make sure
In
more
2
people
weeks?
come.
Like Thursdays are a good day for me. So it could be like maybe not this Thursday, but the one after that.
Okay. Okay, I mean, tell Yair, he's the spammer, so. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, maybe I'll write in the group or something.
Or the whore, how did he describe himself? No, he's gonna pimp us out. Yeah, he's gonna pimp us out on social media. That's what he's. Whore us out on social media. I mean, I'm not too fond of YouTube and all those guys.
This dongle. Ah, aviv. Now I'm going with my Denisa to. We are going maybe here if you want to join. Or you have. You want me to drive? You want to drive you maybe?
No, it's okay. Don't worry. Oh, come on.
Yeah. We'll go.
The central bus station?
Sure.
Oh, I don't have Wi-Fi.
To Haifa, we can take to Haifa if you want.
So I canceled the taxi, but I need to leave like now because I'm on bus.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, of course.
Wow.
You did such an amazing workshop.
Yeah,
We are sad we cannot offer you some accommodation here.
No,
Yeah, I
no.
tried, but
No, don't worry about it. But
Let's go
it was
soon.
really fun. Thank you so much.
I mean, normally it's not a problem. I invite someone, they can stay with me, but right now it's not. I can't right now.
Don't worry. Anyway, tomorrow I have so much work. Like I need to wake up.
Where is that?
I
Do you want it for a while?
So it's good, but we're